Hello, hola, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to the flight sim world. And this is Viperstrike 95, and today we are back with our around the world trip. We're back at Santorini Airport, right in the mouth of the Amazon River. I hope everyone's doing well here today, and it's a great start to the weekend as today is Friday, of course. So I hope everyone is getting ready for a big weekend. And today we're going to be doing a general aviation stream. Mainly, we're going to be doing day 20 from Santorini to Manaus. But yes, we're going to do a GA exploration of the Amazon River and rainforest today. So this should be a really fun and really informative flight. So it's great to have everyone back, and it's great to be back doing this journey as well. So before we get started, I want to get to the little map to discuss our plan. This one's a pretty simple plan. So we're gonna be starting at Santorini Airport. From there, we're gonna go from Santorini. We're gonna go across the lake, and then we'll reach our first stop here at Parintins, located around here. Then from here, we're gonna go down through the rainforest across a couple of places, and then we'll make our way back over to Itacoatara at Sierra Bravo India Charlie. And then finally, the last leg will take us over to the largest city in the Brazilian Amazon at Manaus, with a landing at Sierra Bravo Echo Golf. So it should be a relatively simple flight plan today. So that should be a really simple plan today. Exploring the Amazon rainforest and talk about the river. So before we get started, I want to say hello to everyone in the chat. We have the people working in chat, including Red Dragon. I see him with us. Good to see you. We have our moderator Super Typhon. And hello to all the lurkers in the chat. Good to have you guys here too on this Friday stream. So the plane we're taking today is the good old Cessna 208 Grand Caravan. I think the perfect plane to explore this part of the world is the Cessna 208 Grand Caravan. So if you guys don't know anything about the Cessna 208 Grand Caravan, it was first flew back in 1982, built by Cessna. It has been a very successful plane with over 3,000 built as of 2022. It can typically seat 9 passengers and powered by a Pratt & Whitney PT-68 turboprop, and has been used for all sorts of different purposes, from civilian cargo hauling to passenger travel to as a float plane, and even been used by the militaries across the world, including the United States, Brazilian Air Force, and it's even been used in the Middle East. There are tons of operators of the Cessna 208 Grand Caravan. It's crazy to think that this thing can be used for both military and general aviation purposes. But if you want some specifics, the 208 can handle 9 passengers. It can cruise up to 186 knots, a range of about 1,000 nautical miles, and a service ceiling of 25,000 feet. So yeah, this thing is a super versatile plane. It is a super capable plane, and the perfect plane to take on a bush trip like this. So good to see a Red Dragon in the chat. So we're gonna get the Cessna 208 started. And one start. Battery and stuff is over here. Power all the way forward. I'm gonna go up here. And we're going to go ahead and start the engine. And we get the turboprop going. I mean, the nice thing about the 208 is that everyone should have the 208 in the sim, but if you don't want to take the 208, you can take the Twin Otter, take the Kodiak Twin Otter. You could even take a DC3 with us if you wanted to go old school. There's a lot of ways we could take with what we're doing today. Let me go ahead and put in our plan for today. That's whiskey. There we go. Okay, and then for the altitude today, we're going to just be at 1,500 feet. We don't even need to get very high in altitude for this flight today. We don't even go. Yeah, good to have you guys here. I got plenty of notes ready for today's stream. We'll be talking about the Amazon River and the rainforest today, so I got plenty of notes to talk about each of the topics for today. We'll also talk briefly about the places we're going to be landing at as well. For takeoff. Rough. Like I said, 208 does not require much of a runway. take off because it's a stall capable plane. And from the airport for a bit. Here we are at 1,500 feet. We're gonna go around 170 knots, 160, 170 knots. Don't want to go too fast. Beautiful Grand Caravan. It should be a beautiful trip through the Amazon River in this wonderful plane. So guys, if you weren't around yet on Wednesday, we actually had a really awesome stream. 2 really nice raids as well. We had a really nice raid on Wednesday. We took the Douglas DC-3 and we went from Dallas to Jackson. Along with visiting Shreveport and Monroe, as we recreated the first ever flight that Delta Airlines did back in 1929. It was kind of prophetic a bit because last night there was a VATSIM event from Dallas to Jackson. So kind of was a bit of a prophecy, perhaps, that we did this flight. But it was really fun though, and we got to visit some different places we never got to usually visit, like Shreveport and Monroe, Louisiana are not places people fly to a lot, and especially not Jackson either. Are places we don't usually get to visit all that often. Yeah, definitely pretty nice as well. Had a great time there. We had some pretty big stuff for the flight sim news. I mean, there is a pre-release for AnyBuilds' London Luton. I saw that on London Controller stream. There's also going to be an update for the 146. That's going to be coming out pretty soon. Version 0.20. Featuring new cabins, new flight management system, music player, GSX compatibility, paper charts and checklist, new liveries, and quality of life add-ons. Which I might check that out on one of my streams when the update comes. I may definitely get a flight with it. It's been a while since I've flown the Just Flight planes for sure. It's been a while. Like, it's been a while for me since I've last took the 146 into the air. It's been. Which should be quite nice. Oh yes, AnyBuilds Luton Airport's actually out. I just got them. AnyBuilds just released their newest airport, London Luton, which is Echo Golf Golf Whiskey. This airport is the home to a number of low-cost airlines like EasyJet, Ryanair, and Wizz. as well as charter and private jet airlines, and it's the fourth largest airport served in the London area after Heathrow, Gatwick, and Stansted. Featuring a new renovated terminal building, as well as accurately modeled lighting, detail modeled with buildings and surroundings, car parks, hotels, hangars, official GSX profile, LED optimization, and more. You can get it for 14 British pounds, excluding the taxes, of course. But it should be interesting to actually get London Luton some love, which is nice that London Luton got a bit of love, especially considering it kind of gets overlooked compared to the other London airports, especially compared to Heathrow and Gatwick. And of course, there is also that amazing Stansted freeware. So it's nice to see Little Luton get some bit of attention. But it is very nice, though. It looks very, very good. Which I'm glad that this airport got some bit of TLC work. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about our topic for today. We're going to talk a little bit about the Amazon River today. The Amazon River is the largest river by discharge volume in the world, and it's the longest river system in the world, though it has been disputed who claimed it was actually the Nile. But for most people, they say it is the longest river system. The Amazon River flows through much of the river flows through Brazil, but also some of it also flows through Peru as well. It mainly starts with the Mantaro and Amapac rivers joining in. And once it does, the Amazon goes through all of it until it reaches its way to the Atlantic. Its discharge is around 215,000 to 230,000 cubic meters. And that's greater than in fact, the discharge is so much that it's actually greater than the next 7 largest independent rivers combined goes out of the Amazon. In fact, the Amazon itself represents 20% of the global river discharge into the ocean. And its basin is the largest drainage basin in the world, approximately 7 million square kilometers, which is it's just insane. I mean, this is a mighty, mighty river, the mighty Amazon. Its total length is around 2,300 miles, or 3,700 kilometers. Its source is actually in the Upper Mac River in Peru, and it goes down all the way to Brazil in the Atlantic Ocean. But it's pretty insane to think about the mighty Amazon River. But the history of this river goes back way back. More specifically, it goes back millions of years. It actually suggested that, according to some geological studies, that the Amazon River actually used to flow the opposite direction, from east to west, from the Atlantic over to Peru. However, when the Andes Mountains were formed, it blocked its flow to the Pacific, and it changed its directions back to the Atlantic Ocean. During the pre-Columbian days, archaeologists have discovered that many Amazonian societies were deeply involved in the emergence of its agrarian systems, including their trade with various Indian civilizations like the Muisca and the Incas. And a lot of the settlements back then were mainly based on low-lying hills or mountains, including the shell mountains that were dated back between 7,500 to 4,000 BC. And they were often associated with ceramic-age cultures. They also found artificial herb platforms for entire villages as well, mainly represented by the Mara-Joara cultures. There's even a lot of evidence that these areas actually were home to complex, large-scale indigenous societies, like chieftains, mainly with a lot of chieftains who developed towns and cities. And archaeologists estimated that by the time the Spanish traveled to the Amazon in 1541, more than 3 million indigenous people lived around the Amazon rainforest. And these pre-Columbian settlements created highly developed civilizations. For example, one group of people on the island of Marajo had developed social stratification and supported a population of 100,000 people. It's pretty insane to think about at that time. With limited technology to get 100,000 people, that's pretty crazy, if you ask me. And to achieve that development, the indigenous inhabitants altered the forest's ecology by using selective cultivation and the use of fire by burning areas. And it helped create soil to be richer in nutrient. And also, finally, many of these indigenous tribes also were involved in constant warfare. Mainly with the bigger tribes taking on the much smaller groups. Now, if you ask yourself, when did the Europeans make their way into the Amazon, you may ask? Well, in March 1500, the first documented European to sail up the Amazon River was Spanish conquistador Vicente Yanez Pinzon. He called the stream the Rio Santa Maria del Mar Dulce, or short to Mar Dulce. Literally means sweet sea. Due to all the freshwater pouring out into the ocean, there was another explorer named Francisco de Orellana, and he was the first European to travel from the origins of the upstream river in the Andes all the way down through there. And he then renamed the river Amazonias, which is actually now the current name of the river. However, there was no real exploration, however, until 1541. When a Spanish explorer named Gonzalo Pizarro sailed to explore east of Quito to the South American interior in search of the mythical city El Dorado, the city of gold, and La Canela. He was accompanied by second in command Francisco de Orellana, and afterwards, and they went through quite a few journeys. At one point, they stopped for a few weeks to build a boat just upriver for the confluence. They sailed through quite a few uninhabited areas. And then afterwards, he went down and sailed down through the Napo River. Made his way down south. Hey, we got a raid from WeFly Daily. Another WeFly Daily raid. Good to see you, my dude. We're just going over the Amazon rainforest and the river. We're just talking about the history of the Amazon River here. We're going to talk about some general aviation stuff. So good to see you, WeFly Daily and WeFly Daily viewers. This is Viperstrike 95, and we're doing our around the world trip. Day 20, we're exploring the Amazon rainforest and the river as we fly from Santarém to Manaus. You guys are more than welcome to come along and join us. We're in the Southeast Asia server, and we're flying the Grand Caravan, so take up something that can go at least 170 knots. But we're talking about his adventure. And then De La Llorona once reached the point near Margaritos, and then he sailed for another 746 miles to the confluence of the Rio Negro, which is near the Mar city of Manaus, and where they reached, they couldn't find they've actually found cinnamon trees. However, they couldn't be harvested, as true cinnamon is not native to South America, though there are plants that have cinnamon. However, what the expedition did prove was that people can navigate the Great River through the Amazon. There have been a couple of other people who have explored descended down the Amazon River. There was also another one in 1648 to 1652 by Portuguese-Brazilian Antonio Raposo Tavares. He went down from Sao Paulo overland to the mouth of the Amazon and explored many of its tributaries. And he covered a whole distance within 4 years of 6,200 miles. Pretty crazy to think about. But yeah, I'm doing quite well, WeFly Daily. I hope you had a great stream. I hope you had fun on your stream today. Where'd you guys end up flying today on your stream? I bet knowing you, WeFly Daily, I know you're gonna always have something interesting. Now, there were many different scientific explorations during the 19th century that explored this river, including French explorer Charles Marie de la Condamine. Then you have Alexander von Humboldt, who is a German polymath and geographer. Henry Walter Bates and Alfred Russel Wallace explored the Amazon as well. And the last one would be Richard Spruce. But the big thing that really changed the Amazon was in September 6, 1850, when Emperor Pedro II of Brazil, he sanctioned a law allowing steam navigation. Oh, we got a raid from Shoney as well. Oh my gosh, Shoney Gaming with 19. Oh my gosh, we got 2 raids back to back. Good to see you, Shoney Gaming viewers. Hello, hello. If you guys don't know, I am Viperstrike 95. I've been streaming here since 2021. I've been doing mini adventures, and today we're going to be doing our around the world trip. We're visiting all the sovereign countries. We're doing a GA flight from Santarém to Manaus, Brazil. We're going to be exploring the Amazon rainforest and the Amazon River as well. I was just talking about the history of human activity in the Amazon of the river. So guys, thank you all so much for coming here. I hope you had a great stream showing gaming. Thank you so much for coming here. It's been a while someone's actually came to my channel. So we have Alpha One, good to see you. Shoney Gaming, good to see you. Goblin Zeus. Oh, thank you, Typhon. You didn't have to do that. Italian Yank Fan, it's great having all you guys here. It's great having you guys here. It's a blessing. So I do lots of research on my streams, and I prepare the notes for today's stream about the Amazon River. Hey, good to see you, Alan123. Good to see you. Mr. Nays, good to see you too. It's great having a bunch of new folks here. So, if you guys don't know me, I also stream 3 days a week on Twitch. Wednesdays are mainly my airliner streams, which is I fly for the virtual airline Firefly Air of the Two-Tone Murphy community. So I do that on Wednesdays. And then, of course, right now, Fridays and Sundays are going to be the around the world trip that I've been doing. This is not the first around the world trip I did. I actually did one previously last year as I recreated the 2017 Britling DC-3 around the world trip. From round trip from Geneva, we got to visit tons of places in the 77-year-old DC-3. No, Alpha One. I actually doing this in a wide variety of planes. I've flown business jets on this around the world trip. I've flown airliners, business jets, vintage aircraft like DC-3 and Junkers. I've flown GA planes like the Cessna 172. I fly all sorts of different planes. I don't just fly one. This around the world trip is going to be a wide variety of planes. But that way, it will bring some variety on the stream, and two, some legs I'm only going to have. And I also have a time limit of 2 to 3 hours because that's why I want to keep my time. And for some of these legs, like for example, mainly the Pacific Ocean legs, I'm going to have to be required to take the airliners with me because some of those distances are going to be really, really far, and it's going to be a pretty boring flight elsewhere. So, but good question though, Alpha One. That's an excellent question. Shoney Gaming says, I hope you have a great flight. No worries about leaving, running and bailing. No worries. Like I said, people have their lives to do, and there's always something going on. So thank you so much for the raid, Shoney. Take care and have a great rest of your day. Let's get back to our main topic for this one, the history of the Amazon. So going back to September 6, 1850, Brazilian Emperor Pedro II, who, if you guys don't know about Pedro II is a very interesting guy to learn about. Well, he allowed steam navigation to the Amazon, and this opened the door for lots of cargo and development of the Amazon, development of settlements across the Amazon River. And as a result, it became not only very successful, it allowed for economic exploitation of the Amazon River, and as a result, they shipped cargo and passengers across steamcraft. and thanks to that mercantile development, they actually grew the international demand of rubber. Yes, natural rubber. Mainly one of those cities is Iquitos in Peru. Became a thriving cosmopolitan center of commerce, and foreign companies settled there to control the extraction of natural rubber. And it grew even more during the rubber boom. By 1911, exports of rubber grew to 44,000 tons of rubber, which is pretty insane, which is 9% of Peru's own export. However, the negative side of that rubber boom is because of all the diseases brought in by immigrants, like typhus and malaria, it killed 40,000 native Amazonians. Later on, by the turn of the 20th century, the exports of the Amazon basin include India rubber, cacao beans, Brazil nuts, and other feudal products like pelts and extracted goods like lumber. So basically what they tried to do is now with the steam boats and all that, they quickly developed the Amazon River as a major center of commerce during that point. In the 20th century, wary of foreign exploitation of natural resources, the Brazilian government in the 1940s set out to develop the interior away from the seaboard. And the original architect was actually the Brazilian dictator Getúlio Vargas. And of course, in the 60s, in order to recover their economy, they actually exploited the Amazon basin, which brought in large-scale agriculture and ranching. However, again, that led to a lot of deforestation. So that definitely is a huge problem with the rainforest. And although the Amazon remains undammed, there were about 412 dams in the tributary rivers. So that is the history of the Amazon River, guys. Just want to give you guys a little bit of a break before we get learning more about that. Let's check who's flying along with us. We have Red Dragon CYM with us. We're flying pretty low today since all the Amazon's pretty flat. So we're flying pretty low. So we're going to be going through this as well. Now, one of the really cool things about this around the world trip is we will be visiting a lot of different places. Now, of course, I have my Discord. If you guys are interested, you guys are more welcome to join my Discord. And this is when you guys are going to learn some content of my upcoming streams. We got one on Sunday. We'll be flying from Manaus all the way to the capital of Brasilia. We'll be taking one of the airliners with us. Mainly be taking the 737, of course, to the capital. But during our time in South America, we will be flying through quite a few interesting spots in the region. Nice. But for some of the highlights that's going to be coming to our journey, we'll be visiting every one of the UN sovereign countries. But there are places I definitely want to take my time and flying to visit during our time in South America. I mainly want to check out Iguazu Falls. That'll be one area I want to check out. The other place I would really be interested for flying is Patagonia. Flying through all of this. Flying through all this area. Then do some G flying around Chile because Chile is absolutely stunning. I would like to do some flying around there. And go all through Bolivia and stuff would be fantastic. And of course, there will also be a little bit of an event here in Machu Picchu. I would definitely get the scenery from Machu Picchu, fly over there, and just fly to all these amazing locations. But yeah, we'll be flying through every single UN sovereign country on this trip. It's going to take me over a year. I started this back on New Year's Eve from my home airport at Kilo Juliet Victor Yankee in Sellersburg, Indiana, just north of Louisville, Kentucky. We first went down to Palm Beach, West Palm Beach Airport, Kilo Papa Bravo, India. Then afterwards we went east. We visited the Bahamas. We went Freeport, Marsh Harbor, go down through Rock Sound, Brokers Point, Andros Island, and Nassau. Then we flew to Havana via Key West. Checked out both of Cuba. That took 2 streams. Then visited Montego Bay, Jamaica. Did a GA trip around the island of Jamaica. Flew around to Haiti, Dominican Republic. DC-6 flight over to St. Kitts and Nevis. Then go to Antigua, Dominica, St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Vincent and Grenadines, Grenada, and Trinidad and Tobago. That complete the Caribbean. Now we're doing part 2. We visited Venezuela, Guyana, and Suriname. Now we're in the largest country so far we visited. That is going to be Brazil. So, but yeah, we went through. Yeah, it's going to be a long journey, but it's not going to be as long as some of the other journeys. I'm like I said, I want to get this done pretty quickly. So I did. I've also done some. So in terms of other stuff, we got pretty big sporting news. MLB opening night just happened yesterday for Major League Baseball. Fun fact for you guys that have not been here before, my first series I've done on Twitch was a Major League Baseball series. I did all of the Major League Baseball teams in all the cities and stadiums. So that was a fun trip. I think it's on my YouTube page. On the link to the YouTube, you can probably check out the series. It's when I was still new to the flight sim stream stuff. But I still keep it as my memories, of course. Yeah, it sucks that the Rays gotten beaten by the Blue Jays, but at least the Reds, my other team, my local team, the Reds absolutely took care of business. But yeah, baseball season just got started, so very excited for this year's teams as well. Should be a lot of fun. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys are going to be enjoying your all weekend. We got a big weekend coming up, for me at least. I will be gone Saturday night. Tomorrow night, I'll be going to a concert. Yes, I'll be flying. I'll be going to Lexington, Kentucky. I'm going to be watching Fall Out Boy in Rupp Arena in Lexington, which I've been wanting to see Fall Out Boy for a long time now. So I finally get to see them live, which should be very, very exciting. So should be a fun concert. It's my first concert in about almost 2 years, because the last concert I went was the Sabaton concert in Cincinnati. So it's been a while since I last did any concert. So should be a lot of fun. Let's go over back to our slideshow. I want to talk about the geology of the Amazon River. So in terms of the geology of this, this river actually originated as a transcontinental river during the Miocene, around 11.8 to 11.3 million years ago, and took its present shape at approximately 2.4 million years ago in the Pleistocene. The Proto-Amazon itself flew during the Cretaceous period, flew west from the interior of present-day Africa to when the continents connected. During 15 million years ago, the tectonic uplift phase of the Indian Chain started, and due to the subduction of the Nazca Plate in the Pacific, which is underneath the one in South America, causing the rise of the Andes, which blocked the river and caused the basin to become a vast inland sea, and gradually became a swampy freshwater lake. So, it's definitely got an interesting geological history from geologists and stuff. But of course, you're getting to my favorite section of all this, and this is something I want to put my biology degree into good work. Yes, we're going to learn about the fauna of the Amazon River. And there's a lot of fauna that live in this river. More than 1/3 of all species in the world live in the Amazon rainforest, including the river, and it's the richest tropical rainforest and biodiversity in the world. The river itself can support thousands of species of fish, crabs, algae, and turtles. But one of the most unique residents of the Amazon River, and one of the most unique animals that live here, is the boto, also known as the Amazonian river dolphin. And it's the Amazonian river dolphin. Now, what's really cool about the river dolphin is it's the largest species of its own group, at around 8.5 feet long. And these dolphins are pretty unique as compared to its saltwater brethren. This dolphin uses echolocation to hunt in the tricky depths, and it's a subject of legend in the country. You can also see them in captivity in Venezuela and Europe. However, it's pretty difficult to train, and there's a high mortality rate, but they can eat up to different species of fish, river turtles, aquatic frogs, and freshwater crabs are some of the stuff they eat. Yeah, river dolphins are very, very unique. The fact they can actually live in these Amazon rivers is definitely very cool. There's also you can also find the Amazonian manatee as well. There was a sea cow live in the northern Amazon River. And unlike other manatees, it does not go into salt water. But of course, one of the most coolest animals that lives over here too is the giant river otter. And they are very successful predators. In fact, they may be the most feared predator in the entire Amazon. They often live in groups. Hey, you're gonna see Aquatic Cookie. Thank you for the follow, Aquatic Cookie one. Thanks for coming on in. But the river otter, there was an absolute beast of a thing. They're known as the river wolves, and they're one of the top carnivores in South America. They live in social groups, and they can go from 2 to 20 members of a family group. And they can hunt all sorts. They're an apex predator of the Amazon River, eating things from chinchillids, piranha, catfish. They also eat other animals opportunistically, including crabs, snakes, and even small caimans and anacondas. They eat those too. Yeah, but they are absolutely ferocious. And in groups, they have no serious natural predators. They don't. Now, in terms of reptile species, of course, one of the world's largest species of snakes live here, the anaconda. These things are huge, by the way. Have you guys never seen anaconda? They are absolutely, they're massive. For example, most people know the northern green anaconda. And this snake is absolutely huge. In terms of size, these anaconda are very long. Some snakes can even reach up to 17 feet long. It's huge, and they can eat all sorts of animals. And unlike other snakes, which rely on venom and all that, the anaconda actually kills its prey by constricting, using its massive muscles. It can overpower almost all sorts of prey, from fish to amphibians, birds, mammals, and reptiles. Well, particularly large anacondas might even eat animals as big as a tapir and deer. They've eaten all sorts of stuff. Pretty insane. However, they have to be careful about eating their prey. The fact they can eat animals far larger than their size, and to do that, these snakes actually had their jaws can actually dislocate and snap open, allowing them to take larger prey. So, yeah, very, very cool. There's also tons of birds that live in the rainforest. I'll talk about that more when we get to the rainforest section. And of course, for fish species. More than 5,600 known species of fish live in the Amazon rainforest, Amazon River as of 2011, including the largest, one of the largest fish in the world, the arapaima. And of course, you can't forget about the infamous piranha that live up here, which are actually mostly omnivorous for the most part. And one of the most unique fish that lives in the sea is the electric eel. Fun fact, it's not really an eel, it's actually they're not related to true eels, but instead they're actually related to knifefish and catfish. But one of the most unique things about the electric eel is, of course, its namesake. They can actually stun their prey by generating electricity. And according to a lot of research, these eels can generate, the max discharge is around 600 volts. So they can actually shock people if you're not careful. So that's definitely something important to know. Hey, Sleazy Does Again, good to see ya. Thank you for the shout, Typhon. I was just too much geeking out about the wildlife and the animals that live in the Amazon, of course. Sorry, it's my biology degree coming up again. But yeah, there are some really cool animals that live in the Amazon. There's way more animals that live in the Amazon River. There are tons of animals that live around. But yeah, I love talking about wildlife in it. So I got the biology degree. Yeah, there's, like I said, there's so many. Oh yeah, and by the way, for the Amazon River wildlife, you can find some really popular aquarium fish like the neon tetra and freshwater angelfish are found in the Amazon. And they're a very popular aquarium fish to take care of. There are, and here's another interesting fish that actually lives in the Amazon rainforest. The archerfish. They can be found in India. They actually can be found in India, but actually no. Archerfish actually lives in they're definitely, but like I said, the Amazon River has so much more. And finally, for the challenges of the Amazon River, where can I land and spawn? Sierra Whiskey Papa India is actually going to be our first spot. It's our nearest airport. If you look at the top right, you can see the nearest airport. And right over there is going to be where you guys are going to be landing. Yeah, for challenges of the Amazon, there are still a lot of challenges within the river, of course. One of the big issues facing it is the fact that this is a vital lifeline for more than 47 million people in the basin. And there are lots of challenges and threats. And many people even rely on the land and culture due to a lot of gold miners, malnutrition, malaria. There was also a drought in 2022, which caused the demise of 125 river dolphins, plus deforestation of the Amazon rainforest, as well as also another issue. And a lot of the river levels are reaching historically low levels. So those are a lot of the big challenges faced by people living in the Amazon rainforest. But let's hope that someday the people can overcome that and we can keep this river for future generations. So, yes, exactly. Places like this, absolutely. There are so many medicines that do come from the Amazon rainforest. Come from all sorts of plants and animals, come from the rainforest and all that. For example, there's a lot of medicinal secrets from the Amazon rainforest that come from here, and there's been a lot of history with from a lot of traditional medicine actually use these plants In fact, according to some research, more than 25% of the drugs used by modern medicine use plant compounds directly from those from the Amazon rainforest. Pretty crazy. Gonna stretch a bit. Like I said, a little stretch. So we're about to reach our first stop for today. We'll be checking out the city of Parintins. Parintins in Brazil. It's located in the far east state of the Amazonas region. Population 115,000 people. It's known for its folklore festival, the Parintins Folklore Festival, which is held every June and celebrates the depiction of Boy Bumba, which is an interactive play featured from the 18th century, as told song and dance. And it mainly talks about the lower class mocking and criticizing of higher status. Pretty comedic and all that. And mainly these communities originally were made of slaves and rural workers. And it's become more and more popular during the northeastern communities of the 21st century play. But basically, there's no true plot to the story because of all the variances through different communities. However, the most common performance of it is starting with an overture or chorus, with mainly for songs. And they do lots of stuff. But yeah, there's all sorts of different characters in that too. But every one of those events is pretty cool. Unique, again, Brazil's a rich cultural heritage. It was also where the experimental deployment of WiMAX, Worldwide Interoperability of Microwave Access, in 2006. It was actually founded in 1852, 171 years ago. And it was founded as a cocoa tree farm. However, it didn't really become a major place until later on. So there is the city of Parintins, Brazil. So here is the city to our right is the city of Parintins. Here it is. Look at that to our right. There's the mighty Amazon. Hey, good to see you. I have one elbow. Thanks for the follow, my dude. See it? Here's the mighty Amazon River, guys. Beautiful view of the river. Let's. I think there's our. And prepare for the landing here. Yeah, beautiful rainforest. Yeah, the foreground tree is actually not looking too bad today. The satellite data here is not actually looking too bad right here. Hey, good to see you, Dougal. I'm doing well. I got two nice raids today. But yeah, we're going to Manaus today. We talked about the Amazon River on stream. Starting the next leg, we'll be talking about the Amazon rainforest for a bit. Because like I said, I prepared special notes for today since I really wanted to cover the Amazon River. I got special notes for this. Here we go, guys. The first lane of the day. Here. Oh. Wow, -95. That's perfect. Yes, we're in Brazil, my dude. That's right. We are in Brazil. Yes, I came to Brazil today. But this wasn't the first stream of Brazil we covered today. We actually did one previously last Sunday from Paramaribo, Suriname. We went to Macapa, and then Macapa over to Santarém. But I wanted to explore more of the interior today, since, like I said, I want to explore the interior of the Amazon. But yeah, great to see you, my dude. I hope you're doing well, Elbow. So, having a great time here today with you guys. It's definitely been very. And stop. Because we'll be taking off here pretty shortly. Gonna stop right here. This is our first stop of the day here. Pretty nice little airport right in the heart of the Amazon. Should be a very nice landing for sure. So if you guys want to join on in, we're on the Southeast Asia server. No worries, I'll wait. We're in Southeast Asia. If you want to do !server, here it is, !server. We are in Southeast Asia. That's where we are in today. So, now, of course, for other members of your community, later today, Tuto Murphy is going to be he's going to be doing his Warlords over Wanaka stream in New Zealand. Definitely check that out. Give a shout out for Murph. And of course, on Saturday, Allison Johnson's going to be doing another recreation flight from JFK over to Gander in Newfoundland. Should be about an hour and 1,000 nautical mile flight, around 7 hours. What's the cruise speed? Good question. That is around 170 knots, give and take. So we're going to be flying at around 160 knots. I don't want to go too fast, obviously. So that, no worries, my dude. Thank you for thanks for asking the question. You're more than welcome to ask questions. So, now the reason I've been wanting to do this around the world trip was because I wanted to do something pretty ambitious. I've already did a historical trip, so I wanted to do something a bit more ambitious than that. And I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to do the ultimate around the world trip, and my trip is to visit every single country. So I visit every single UN sovereign state I can think of. The Tigers and the Savage Cub. I don't think a Savage Cub is going to keep up with a Cessna 208. But I hope you can keep up. But yeah, some of these, but like I said, some of these lanes are going to be general aviation lanes. Some of these are going to be with the airliners. Because like I said, some areas are better served with one type of aircraft, others are served by others. But I would like to keep a mix of planes to keep things fresh and interesting with different aircraft. Go ahead and get her in the air. Flight 18 Kappa. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, it's great having you guys here. Thank you all so much for coming here and enjoying this stream. I hope you guys are enjoying this stream as much as I am. I'm absolutely loving this flight. No worries. Oh yeah, and there will also be an F-18 stream. When we get to Patagonia, I'm going to prepare to fly the F-18 over Patagonia. That is going to be an amazing flight. Plus, it'll be a great chance to show off the military jet once in the journeys. Since I typically don't really fly military jets, but I will make an exception for this stream, for that stream. let's see who's flying with us. We got the Tiger 2131. We also have Red Dragon Red Dragon. Great to have you here as well. Yeah, the flight here is beautiful today. Turns out the salvage is actually working pretty well for us today. Sometimes you may not always get the best data in this part of the world. I'm surprised it's actually working out really nicely today. So I'm very, very relieved that is the case. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Amazon rainforest while we're up here. The mighty Amazon rainforest. Oh boy, there is a lot to talk about the rainforest here. In terms of the Amazon rainforest, it is a moist broadleaf tropical rainforest in the Amazon biome, and it covers most of the Amazon basin, South America, which includes the territories of modern-day Brazil, French Guiana, Suriname, Guyana, Venezuela, Colombia, Peru, Ecuador, and Bolivia. Yeah, it covers a lot of those modern-day South American countries. This Amazon basin covers nearly 7 million square kilometers, in which 5.5 million square kilometers are covered by rainforest. And the majority of the forest is in Brazil, followed by Peru at 13, Colombia at 10, and minor amounts in Bolivia, Ecuador, French Guiana, Suriname, and Venezuela. But this rainforest is massive. No joke, the Amazon represents over half of Earth's remaining rainforest and comprises the most biodiverse tract of tropical rainforest in the world. With an estimated 390 billion trees, individual trees, and around 16,000 species of them. Think about this, 16,000 species of trees live in the Amazon rainforest. That's pretty insane. Not only that, the rainforest is an important part of the people that live here, as more than 30 million people, 350 different ethnic groups live in the Amazon. And the indigenous people make up 9% of the total population, and there's still 60 more groups that remain isolated compared to the outside world. However, of course, deforestation's been a huge issue. So, yeah, the Amazon. Hey, good to see you, Filthy. Good to see you. What plane? Well, the plane is I'm in the Cessna 208 Grand Caravan, which is which is in the base sim. But I'm taking that today since we're going to be in the rainforest. I thought this would be the perfect plane to cover through the Amazon rainforest. You don't have to use the you don't have to use the Grand Caravan. Just take something that can at least keep up with the Grand Caravan. Like, you can take a Douglas DC-3, you can take the Bonanza, you can take the Baron. You can take those planes. You can take, of course, you can also take whatever plane that can at least keep up with it. If you want to fly along, just take something that can at least keep up with it. I'm not going to go too fast, but definitely take something that can at least keep up with it. You don't have to use the Grand Caravan. There you go. So, let's talk briefly about the history of the Amazon rainforest. The Amazon rainforest, according to archaeological evidence from an excavation at the Caverna di Pedra Pinata, human inhabitants first settled in the Amazon region around 11,200 years ago. Subsequent development led to late prehistoric settlements along the periphery of the forest by 1250 AD. A lot of people thought at first that the Amazon rainforest was never more than sparsely populated, and it was impossible to sustain a large population through agriculture. However, they found out that now, with modern findings, found out that it was actually a very densely populated area. For example, one of the sites in the Apana Valley in Ecuador predate all the complex Amazonian societies. But yes, it turns out there were actually advanced societies living in the Amazon that people didn't even know about previously. And some 5 million people may have lived around the region by 1500 AD, including between the dense coastal settlements like the Marajo and others living inland. So it turns out there are lots of complex. I can set up the autopilot. Yeah, you can set up the autopilot, of course. You can just set it to our heading. Yes, you can definitely set up the autopilot. In fact, here's the route for today's trip. Exclamation point route. And I'll give you the airports. So we're going to be so you can set up the autopilot from Sierra Whiskey Papa India to Sierra Bravo India Charlie. Now I'll get you set up for today's trip, for today's flight. So here's the route. So yeah, you can definitely set up the autopilot. Like that's what I'm doing right here. In terms of Europeans, we obviously talked about the Francisco de Oroz traveled through across the entire length of the Amazon River. However, a lot of people didn't know this, that he was actually correct in his observations about advanced pre-Columbian civilization. However, it was wiped out by diseases from Europe, mainly smallpox. But in the Amazon region, there were a lot of fighting and wars between the neighboring tribes, including those of the Javaro group. They practiced a lot of head hunting and head shrieking. Then, of course, we got the Amazon River boom that happened during the 19th century, brought in a lot of diseases that killed 40,000 native Amazonians, as they took advantage of the natural rubber in this area. Of course, in the 50s, Brazilian explorer and defender of the indigenous people Candido Rondon supported the Vilas Boas Growers campaign, which faced strong opposition from government and ranchers, but eventually established the first Brazilian national park for indigenous people, the Xingu National Park in 1961. But that completes some bit of the history. But like I said, there's still way more of the Amazon rainforest that's still... Oh, no. It crashed? Oh, medic. That's not good. Oh, that's... Oh, I hope you get that fixed soon. I hope that goes away next time. Because that sucks. Nothing's worse than getting your sim crash as we prepare to fly along. Now, if you look, guys, to your left, you can see the Rio Curaçao River, one of the many tributary rivers that come from the Amazon. And it sails all the way in, and it goes all the way down. And it's one of the many tributary rivers that flow through from the Amazon. So definitely pretty, really interesting stuff around. Very, very cool. Tiger with us. We got Red Dragon. We got a lot. We got some really awesome people. Like I said, these are group flights. You're all more than welcome to come in and join us on these flights. But I did have some ideas for my next week's schedule planned. I think next Wednesday I'm gonna probably take the VA-146. I haven't taken that out in a while. And I was thinking about doing some hops in Alaska. I've been wanting to do some flights across the U.S. state of Alaska. So I want to do some flying around the state. I'm probably thinking about doing a flight from. I want to do some flying in Alaska. I'm thinking about wanting to do some flying from. So I was actually thinking about doing some flying. I think about. So I'm thinking about doing a flight first from Cordova to Yakutat, and then Yakutat to Juneau. I want to do some flying in Juneau, but I'll probably want to do a flight starting with Dawson City to Whitehorse, and then Whitehorse over to Juneau. I really want to do some flying in Alaska. Like I said, Alaska is one of my favorite places to visit, both in real life and in the sim. I want to do that. So, definitely like to check that out. So yeah, guys, since today's Friday, I hope you guys have any really cool plans for the weekend. I know I have my concert Saturday, but I want to ask you guys in the chat if you guys have any really cool plans and stuff for the weekend. Like really cool flights, or for some of you, you might have some really cool streams planned. It would be really cool if you guys had a lot of fun this week. This weekend should be a lot of fun. So let's talk a bit more about the Amazon rainforest. That is its geography of the rainforest. So in terms of locations, 9 countries share the Amazon basin. But its natural geography, it was mainly formed during the Eocene era, dating back from 56 million years to 33.9 million years ago, and it appeared following a global reduction of tropical temperatures when the Atlantic Ocean was widened sufficiently to provide a warm, moist climate. Now, the rainforests have been in existence for at least 55 million years, and most of the region remained free of the savanna-type biomes until the current ice age. And it was mainly started with the Cretaceous extinction event, with the dinosaurs went extinct. And the wetter climate allowed rainforests to spread across the entire continent. There was also changes within the mid-Eocene about the drainage basin of the Amazon River, spread through the Porous Arch, and with the rise of the Andes, caused the river to flow west to east. However, one of the most interesting facts about the geography stuff to learn is actually the dust of the Amazon rainforest. You wouldn't believe this, but most of the dust that actually fertilizes the Amazon rainforest doesn't come from South America. It actually comes all the way from the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, in the Sahara Desert of all places, mainly the Bodel Depression in northern Chad. And the dust from there contains, well, the element phosphorus. Now, you guys probably know phosphorus, right? Basically, phosphorus is an element that exists in two forms, white and red phosphorus, and it's very reactive. So as a result, it's never found as a free element. It mainly comes as a phosphate. And phosphorus plays a role with bone teeth of an animal, structural function work in DNA and RNA, and more. So, but yeah, that dust is actually in fact NASA has actually did a study, and they found out that around 182 million tons of dust is blown out of the Sahara each year to the Amazon basin, which is about 15% of it. Which is pretty crazy to think about as well. Oh, pretty cool stuff. Hey, good to see you, Port. Yeah, try to learn the Savage Cub. Yeah, the Savage Cub is a great little bush plane. It's a great plane. It's one of my favorite little bush planes to fly. I mean, it's the basin, but that Savage Cub is so much fun to fly in and out of. Again, it's not the fastest thing, but if you want to actually do low and slow, land on small strips, I mean, the Savage Cub is a brilliant little plane. Hey, Quartz, good to see you, my dude. Good to see you, Quartz. Hope you're doing well, my dude. Check out Quartz channel on Twitch. He's a well-known streamer. Oh, thank you. Hey, Texas Flyboy, good to see ya. Oh, that's nice. You get to check out the VODs. I appreciate it, my dude. But yeah, I did a Texas flight on Wednesday, and I actually recreated the route. It was definitely very fun to go do some historical flights and for all the historical operations. It was a lot of fun to do historical airliner flights. And like I said, it's kind of refreshing to do those kinds of flights um, on stream. And I want to do more of those on this Wednesday streams eventually to mix things up. And I have a few other kind of airliner routes I may plan. Maybe do some historical services with the Flight Sim Dispatch and see if they give me ideas from there. Others may be with Vintage Airlines that do one of their routes. But yeah, I really want to do more of that on the. But yeah, I do appreciate the kind words, my dude. Yeah, the Savage Cup can definitely land really short distance. It's a Super Cup. That thing goes almost everywhere. You see them a lot in Alaska. Where I'm going to be visiting. There are lots of cups. But now we're going to get to my favorite part about learning about the Amazon rainforest, and that is the biodiversity. There are a ton of things about biodiversity. There are a lot of plants and animals that live in the Amazon rainforest. In fact, one of every 10 species in the world lives in the Amazon rainforest. In fact, it's home to nearly 2.5 million insect species, tens of thousands of plant species, and some 2,000 bird and mammal species lives in the Amazon, which is insane. And it actually says to date 40,000 plant species, 2,200 fish species, almost 1,300 bird species, 427 mammal, and 420 amphibian species as well. Tons of bird species lives around here. And scientists have, and I mean, it's insane. 2.5 million insect species. You know, that's a crap ton of species of stuff. In addition to this, there's tons of plant species as well. In fact, 1 square kilometer of rainforest can contain about 9,000 tons of living plants. And it's insane. For example, per hectare of Amazon rainforest, you can find up to 160 bird species, 310 tree species, 22 reptile species, 33 amphibian, 44 fish species, and 10 different species of primates. But there are many well-known animals that live in the Amazon. But I'm going to give you some of the most important species that live in the rainforest, and some of the most iconic and well-known species. The first one is here in the picture. This is the mighty jaguar. This jaguar is found all over Latin America. It used to be found all over the Americas, even up to the United States, as far south as like Argentina. Though nowadays they mainly live around the Amazon rainforest, though you can find some in Mexico, of course, in Central America. But these jaguars are considered to be one of the biggest cat species in the world. It's the third largest cat species after the tiger and lion species. And they eat just about everything, from capybaras to turtles. They even eat the caiman. Yeah, they can even eat the small crocodile, the caiman. But they eat just about everything. And unlike other cats, they are not afraid of water. Another iconic species of the rainforest are the poison dart frogs, which you see those in the little herpetariums. You see the little dart frogs. Well, these frogs are often painted in bright colors. Now you wonder, why are they so brightly colored? Well, it's to tell you to avoid them, because their skin are insanely toxic. In fact, their skin is toxic enough that actually Aboriginal Southern Americans actually use their secretions on their blow darts, and they use those for hunting. But in fact, their toxin is so much, their toxin's dangerous enough that that its chemicals extracted from one of their frogs is 200 times more potent than morphine. It's insanely toxic. It's insane. In fact, apparently the most poisonous of the frogs, which is the golden poison dart frog, has enough toxin to kill on average 10 to 20 men. Or if you talk about mice, how about 20,000 mice? Yeah, with its toxin. You don't want to mess with those little dart frogs. They are not. Don't mess with them. If you see them brightly colored, avoid them. Of course, and finally, one of the most really cool animals, of course, you also have the sloths, the three-toed sloths that live around the area. They are very slow. They are very slow. In fact, they sleep 15 to 18 hours a day. They are very slow, and that's because they only eat on leaves. In fact, sloths are faster swimming than they are with in climbing. Yeah, they are slow. And then in terms of bird species, well, there are many kinds of bird species, including the scarlet macaw, which are very intelligent birds. I mean, the macaws are probably considered by many to be the most intelligent birds, as the macaws and parrots. And they are insanely intelligent. They can actually, parrots are insanely intelligent birds. They can, like, no joke, their intelligence is actually scary. They can actually talk and mimic the speech of human speech. They can use tools. You can actually use tools and puzzle solve. Parrots are really, really successful birds. And of course, the dominant bird species, and the one you really got to avoid, is the terrifying harpy eagle. And these birds are absolutely huge. They are the most powerful, largest, and most powerful bird of prey. They can weigh up to 13 to 20 pounds for females. Males can weigh up to, and males are actually smaller. And their wingspan isn't that long. Unlike other eagles, they have a short wingspan, but that's because they live in the rainforest. But no joke, they can eat. They're at the top of the food chain, with massive talons to grapple any kind of prey. But in fact, they can actually prey to 116 different species of prey, including many tree-dwelling mammals, including sloths, mainly sloths, but also monkeys, various monkey species like the seven monkey, capuchins, howler monkeys, spider monkeys, capuchins, and then of course they also eat other mammals too, including porcupines, armadillos, foxes, coatis, other birds like macaws, and of course they have even taken reptiles like iguanas, snakes. Yeah, they eat just about everything. What I'm trying to say is there is so many animal species that live in the Amazon rainforest. And that's not even all of it. There's so way more to cover. And of course, finally, and the last thing I want to talk about is if you guys hate creepy crawlies, avoid it because, well, one of the most terrifying animals that live in there is the giant centipede, the giant Amazonian centipede. The largest centipede species in the world that can go 12 inches, about a foot long. It's got many creepy legs, and these centipedes can actually eat other invertebrates, like insects, worms, snails, spiders, scorpions, even tarantulas. They'll eat those too. But they can even eat small lizards, frogs, snakes, sparrow-sized birds, mice, and bats. And let me tell you, the giant centipede bite is very, very, and their bite is is horrifying. In fact, one of the people, I think from the Great Wilderness channel, Coyote Peterson, he actually was bitten by a giant desert centipede during his stream, and he compared. In fact, he said the pain of this was worse than anything with a bull ant, and bull ants are extremely painful. And he said it was even worse than that. You don't want to get bitten by a giant. Yeah, no thanks. Giant centipedes are nasty. Don't mess. Yeah, there's so many things. Like I said, there's so much about the Amazon rainforest that is yet to cover. Like I said, I love talking about wildlife and stuff. But yeah, that's not even like there are so many species. And of course, there's also lots of butterfly species, like the blue morpho. The blue morpho butterflies also got some of the butterfly species, but yeah, there's so many. It's what I'm trying to say is there is so many. Yeah, no. If I saw one of those centipedes, yeah, don't mess with those centipedes. Yeah, I don't blame you. People are scared of them, rightfully so. I do make these presentations myself. Yes, I make them myself. I make that. I've been doing that myself every. I mainly do these for the Sunday streams, for the journey streams to make these slideshows. But yeah, I make these myself. And I've been doing it since I started streaming back in 2021. But yeah, I make these streams nearly every single stream. I don't make it on the Wednesday streams because well, I don't make them every stream, but I mainly make it on the journeys and stuff, but not so much on the. But I don't make it on the Wednesday stuff because, like I said, there's not really much to present, obviously, on the Wednesday stuff. But on the journey streams, yes, I definitely do. Okay, excellent question. Yeah, that's something that people always said about my channel is it's really informative, and that's something. Like I said, it's great to fly around and have fun, but it's also nice that we get to learn about the places we fly, and that gives us another purpose. And you came to the right place for this channel. In fact, there's going to be a lot of learned stuff to do over through this entire journey because we still got to get through across the United States, across the western U.S. We'll also definitely do some stuff in Alaska. We'll learn about. Of course, all the countries in Japan. We'll be learning all about on the stream. So, I do appreciate the kind words. Yeah, let's get back to the outside for a bit. So let's see. We have the tiger still with us. We have Red Dragon, PRYM. Got all that with us. We've got so many people here. I'm really impressed with all you guys. Thank you all so much. So yeah, guys. So in terms of Firefly Air, as I'm part of the Firefly Air network, if you guys want to learn more about our virtual airline, exclamation point Foxtrot FFA, Firefly Air. It'll get us open to our virtual airline and to learn all about it. We're currently at 1.71 million out of 2.5 million for our XP goal. So we're doing really, really well with our XP. So we're doing quite well with it. I'm hoping we might get it by the end of April. Maybe by the end of April. There you go, Typhon. And this is our virtual airline, Firefly Air. We fly basically any type of plane. We're going to fly any type of plane anywhere. We're pretty laid back as a virtual airline, and it's completely free. And in fact, not only can you get on it for PC, but also for Xbox as well. So you guys are more than welcome. And the link will send you, and it will let you know how to get everything set up. We're just about 20 nautical miles from our second stop. We're just about 20 nautical miles. So we're going to visit our next stop at Ite Cotiara. Now, this little commune is located in the central eastern portion of the state of Amazonas. Population 102,000 people. Town is known as the City of Painted Stone, which is translated from Tupi, from one of the native indigenous languages. It has become an important port thanks to a considerable amount of cargo transportation. Some bits of its history. There was a hamlet found around this area in 1655 by a Jesuit missionary, Antonio Vieira. But of course, the modern town became part of it in 1857, though the official city was named in 1874. It's marked by cultural, political, and economic traits for the Portuguese, Spanish, and Dutch people, as well as the Native American Indians as well, are a big part of the city itself. And one of the town's most notable people is Brazilian model in Miss Brazil 2018, Mayra Diaz. Is one of the people here as well. Here we are. Look at that. There's the Amazon River. Hey, Red Dragon, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you so much for flying along with me today. That's been really nice for you to fly along with me today. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the kind words. I hope that we could see each other again soon, my dude. Have a fantastic rest of your day, Red Dragon. 737 at 4,000 feet. Yeah, someone else is flying a 737, I believe. They're probably at nearby Manaus Airport. I bet that's probably where they're at right now. At Manaus Airport, which is at Sierra Bravo Echo Golf. That's where they're at right now, I believe. Yeah, this has been a great stream. It's been an awesome stream today. Really enjoying this one. Like I said, I know the scenery here is kind of flat, but the fact we get to do a GA exploration of the Amazon is still really cool. And get to learn all about this area and this information. So. Well, after this, we got one last leg left to go, and that is to the largest city in the Brazilian Amazon. But really do appreciate you guys coming here. No worries. Do the best you can. Don't worry about too much. I think you got this, Elbow. I don't think it's going to be that too big of a problem. You'll get it. I'm very confident you will. I believe in you, my dude. And here's the city of Itacoatiara. Here's the town, and we're going to be landing right on the bank of the Amazon. How cool is that? We're right on the banks of the Amazon again. Yeah, I posted my Discord. If you guys are more than welcome to join on my Discord, keep track of all my streams and stuff. There we go. Hey, Abanius player, good to see you, my dude. Welcome on in. We're just gonna take a bit of a break here. We're just gonna have a quick stop here at Sierra Bravo India Charlie. Want to see you guys make a landing here at this airport. I also see Ruka60 here with us too. I wonder if he's with us. Ruka. Yeah, this has been an awesome stream so far, Banez. So we are flying along the Amazon River today for our around the world trip. We're in the Amazon River. We started at Santarém. We went through Parintins, and then we are now here at Itacoatiara, and then finally we got one last leg to cover to the largest city in the Brazilian Amazon, Manaus. Manaus. Yeah. And that's to prepare for Sunday's trip to Brasilia, the Brazilian capital. Oh, you okay? Oh. Was it a bad landing or good landing, Elbow? Was it? So. Here's Red Dragon in the DA-42. Should be a good landing. But yeah, I'm having a great stream. Oh, nice! 26 feet per minute. Oh, that's smooth. Oh, that's an excellent landing, my dude. 26 feet per minute? That's amazing. That was about as perfect as you're going to get it, honestly. For a butter landing, that's probably as better as you're going to. Like I said, it takes practice to get those landing. And we have Red Dragon. He's down in the DA-42. I still haven't got the DA-42. Haven't gotten a lot of planes in the sim. You almost stalled the thing. Well, so if you guys want to join on in, we're in the Southeast Asian server, exclamation point server, and we're about to head to our final stop here in Manaus. So if you guys want to join on in, here's the recommended planes. Some of them include the DC-3 Twin Otter, Cessna 208, but you can also take any plane that can at least keep up with. It can be any plane that's around 160-170 knots. I forgot to change that before stream. So we're gonna go ahead and prepare for the final leg of the trip. We're gonna head over to the city of Manaus. So we're gonna go ahead and turn around and head our way down over the major Brazilian city. Now I'm not gonna go all the way back to the front of the runway, and that's because the Cessna 208 does not really need much of a runway. The turboprop sole plane does not runway. And we're up and away. Here we go. So guys, we're on to the final leg of the trip. Oh. Get in there, boys. So let's go ahead and cover some more of the slides, shall we? Since we're about to head our way over to the end of our stream. Thank you all so much. So we will be back on Sunday. We'll be heading to Brazil on Sunday. I got some slides prepared. I got slides prepared before to cover the rest of the major Brazil stuff. But I'm planning on, for the rest of the Brazil stuff, we're gonna have a leg over to Rio de Janeiro, which is Brazil's capital city. We'll be landing at Axtra Virtual Airlines Hub at Galileo Antonio Jobim International. That'll be next Friday's stream. Then afterwards, I'm going to be planning on doing a King Air flight to Sao Paulo in Curitiba. Then we'll prepare for the journey to Iguazu Falls, which you guys know about the Iguazu Falls. It is a major World Heritage Site and definitely a stunning location for a stream. And we prepare for the trip to Paraguay, the next South American country. Should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. So let's go over more of the stream stuff. So let's start with the deforestation issue, and this is one of the biggest issues facing the rainforest. Deforestation. Now, if you guys don't know what deforestation is, the definition of deforestation is the conversion of forested areas to non-forested areas. And the main source of deforestation in the Amazon has been human settlement and development of the land. In 2022, about 20% of the rainforest has already been deforested as well. And research suggests that upon reaching 25%, tipping point to flip it to a non-forest ecosystem, integrated savanna will be reached. And the savanization would take full effect within a couple decades. Prior to the 1960s, the access to the forest interior was restricted and it remained basically intact. However, farms were established during the 1960s. Took full effect. Mainly with crop cultivation and all that. However, colonists were unable to manage the fields and crops due to loss of soil fertility. So, because the soils in the Amazon are productive only for a short period of time, farmers were constantly moving to new areas and clearing more land, leading to vast deforestation and extensive environmental damage. Then there was also the Trans-Amazonian Highway, which represented a major threat to the rainforest. The highway has still not been completed, limiting the damage to the environment. And more have actually grown for cattle and soybeans. And that's what much of the land has been deforested for the growth of soybeans, as Brazil is currently the largest global producer of soybeans. Currently, there has been attempts to limit deforestation of the Amazon. So that's definitely been a big issue as well. It's just that people were trying to take a lot of the Amazon's resources and stuff for their own purposes. But basically the main causes of deforestation were mainly cattle ranching, was responsible for 80% of it, then soybeans as well, then logging, crude oil, roads, and then finally climate change. So who's the C-172 tail dragger? That is Bruka 60. He's the tail dragger. I don't know if he's flying along with us, but I know he's been around the area quite a bit. I know he's been around us for a bit of a while now. Beautiful day over the rainforest, guys. I mean, this is very awesome. I know the Saturday here may not be the greatest, but it's still a lot of fun to learn more about the Amazon rainforest. It's been a lot of fun. But now here comes one of the most important parts about the Amazon rainforest, and that's conservation. And this is a very important topic. And a lot of environmentalists are concerned about the biodiversity loss due to the destruction of the Amazon rainforest, but also the release of carbon, which can accelerate global warming, as the Amazon forests account for 10% of the world's primary productivity and the 10% of carbon stores in the ecosystem. So, in fact, in 2021, the Amazon emitted more greenhouse gas than absorbed. And there's been a lot of issues that the lack of rainfall and temperatures could actually reduce the sustainability of the rainforest. Also, in addition, indigenous people will also be affected by deforestation as many rainforest communities disappear, like the Urarna. And as a result, conservation is super important. Like, for example, there's been multiple trade agreements and all that between the U.S. and Brazil for development of the Amazon, as well as teams. And as a result, there's been recent conservation in Ecuador. Now, there have been attempts to eventually made for having a forest-friendly economy that would balance out ecotourism as well. But conservation is something that would be very, very important. Oh, how do you zoom in and out of the map? The G1000, the map is right over here. It's the map range control. This little button right here. It's called the map range in and out of control. This. It's your map range control in the middle screen of this. Like this. As you can zoom out to 1,000 nautical miles, you can see. And right over here, you can definitely see some of the highlands here, and of course, all this is the Andes. You can see the insane altitude, the Andes Mountains. That's how it works. And that completes all the slides with the Amazon rainforest. So yeah, this is very important for us to learn about the Amazon rainforest. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done to get these rainforests back to a good, healthy place. And it's going to take a lot of work, not just for environmentalists, but also the governments of South America as well. So, should be a really fun stuff to do, but this is very important stuff, and it's important for us in the global community to learn how to take good care of the environment. So very, very important. Yes, yeah, they're in Chile. I zoomed the map to now I zoomed the map all the way to the max length, 1,000 nautical miles. So within a 1,000 nautical mile range thing, and you can definitely see the rest of South America. There's the Andes all across, all the way from Venezuela and Colombia down over to Ecuador, which is one of our houses in Quito, all the way down through Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, and Chile. And it goes down all through there. So, yeah, the Andes are down all across the western half of South America is the Andes. And there's some amazing flying through the Andes. Especially if you take a plane that can handle the higher altitudes, you get some amazing views of the Andes. They're pretty. Absolutely stunning area to fly in the sim. So I've done plenty of flights in that region. Incredible place. Yeah, it's not looking north and south. That's because it's heading mode. Yes, it's actually heading mode. If I could change it to yeah, it's actually it's heading up mode. See, this is now it's north up. Yeah, it's heading. It was in heading up mode. So yeah, here it is. Yeah, and here's the 1,000 nautical mile range thing. You can see all of it. Yeah, it's track up. Yeah, it was the map setting. Like I said, I don't usually touch these settings. I wanted to show off a little bit here, but yeah, you can see the Andes all throughout Bolivia, a bunch of Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, and there's even a little bit of it in Venezuela. So yeah, very, very important to keep in mind. But yeah, we will definitely be flying along the Andes on our stream. I'm guaranteeing. Mainly, we'll be doing some general aviation stuff around Peru and Bolivia. Lake Titicaca would be a really stunning location. Of course, definitely Cusco and Machu Picchu. It's pretty crazy to talk about. So we're about 54 nautical miles from our destination, here at Manaus. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the city we're going to be checking out today. Now, Manaus is the capital and largest city of the Brazilian state of of Amazonas. It is Brazil's 7th largest city with a population of 2.2 2 million people over around an area of 4,402 square miles. It's situated at the confluence of the Negro and Amazon rivers, which is known as the meeting of the waters. And it was founded in 1669 as the fort of São José do Rio Negro. But it was renamed to Manaus in 1832 from misspelling of the indigenous people, and officially transformed into a city in 1848. It's home to it's home to the most important center for scientific studies in the Amazon region, the National Institute of Amazonian Research. It was known in the beginning century as the heart of the Amazon, and it's currently the main economic engine is the industrial park and economic zone as a free port, along with an international airport of its own. And manufacturing include electronics, chemical products, and soap, as well as exporting Brazil nuts, rubber, jute, and rosewood oil. Now, one of the most unique things about Manaus is it grew during the rubber boom era in the late 1800s, and it made it actually at one point the richest city in South America. And it earned the nickname the Paris of the Tropics, as many wealthy European families settled here and brought their love of European art, architecture, and culture with them. It also is one of the host cities of the 2014 World Cup and one of the subsections of the 2016 Summer Olympic Games. But this city is a super cool area. It's basically a piece of Europe in the tropics. It's a very cool city, and there's tons of great places and attractions. There's some amazing landmarks in. They're absolutely worth checking out here. And in terms of landmarks, there are some places worth to visit, but there are two big places that are really worth checking out. Two of them. One is the Amazon Theater, or the Teatro Amazonas. This opera house is right in the heart of the Amazon rainforest. This is the location of the annual festival Amazonas de Opera, which performs around the world, and it's over 126 years old. It was built during the Belle Epoque time, made by the rubber boom, and they brought over a lot of the building materials from Europe. It was literally built with some of the finest materials from Europe. For example, the roofing tiles were imported from the lost region of France. Steel walls made from Glasgow, Scotland. The Carrara marble from Italy. There's statues and columns. There's 36,000. The dome itself, on top of it, is covered with 36,000 ceramic tiles painted in the national colors of Brazil. The interior furnishing came from France. The panels were designed by Italian artist Domenico de Angelis the Younger, and the curtain was created in Paris. And of course, the 198 chandeliers were imported from Italy. And it's a super fancy opera hall. It is a super cool looking place. The opera hall, and it's been featured in quite a few pop culture stuff too. But that is one of the most important landmarks in the city, the old theater. Then of course there's the Encontro de Aguas, or the meeting of waters. It's actually the confluence between the Rio Negro and the Amazon River, between the dark river of that and the whitewater Amazon, and it creates a unique confluence. And for 3.7 miles, the rivers actually run side by side without mixing. And the reason they actually don't mix is for a couple of factors. One, difference in temperature. The Rio Negro is 82 degrees and it flows 1.2 miles an hour, while the Amazon is cooler at 72 degrees and it flows faster. And as a result, they don't really mix. They actually run oppositely of each other for a few miles. But it's a main tourist attraction of the city, and definitely a pretty interesting experience. Sure. There's also the Lisboa Market. Modeled on the old halls in Paris, it features stained glass windows and iron framework, made by the same shop as Eiffel's workshop, which he was the namesake of the Eiffel Tower, of course. And it features not only lots of shops, but also and a glimpse of a local life here in this. So there's that as well. And finally, the last slide for today's stream is Eduardo Gomes International Airport in Manaus. This is major airport in the city, opened back in 1976. It features 2 terminal buildings, one for domestic and one for international flights. Passenger Terminal 1 handles domestic and international flights. Passenger 2 is for general aviation. There's Cargo Terminal, and it's Brazil's 3rd busiest airport for cargo, behind Sao Paulo, Guarulhos, and Campinas. It currently features destinations include Bogota, Belém, Fort Lauderdale, Sao Paulo, and Rio de Janeiro are at least the list of destinations this airport flies to. But it's definitely a very nice modern airport. Its one runway is 1129 at 8,858 feet or 2,700 meters. But yeah, should be a really nice little airport worth visiting. Well, that's it, everyone. That completes the slides for today's stream, everyone. That's all the information for today. Yeah, you don't have to worry about overshooting the runway at this airport. You get plenty in line for sure. And speaking of which, we might be able to see the mixing of the waters around here. Because we might see both of the rivers here. So if we get lucky, we might be able to see the mixing of the waters. Well, let's look outside. I guess they don't. Do they model in the sim the mixing of the Amazon and the Rio Negro rivers? Is there a color difference? Well, not in the sim, but in real life there is a color difference because the Rio Negro is dark water. It's because of the sediment and all that, whereas the Amazon is much lighter color. But due to other differences like temperature, and flow speed, and composition, that means the water actually don't mix. It basically gives you it's almost like 2 separate rivers run through one. That's basically what is going on around in this area. But yeah, great question though. This is just incredible, though. Look at the Amazon. That's just great. That's so cool, though. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun, guys. I've really enjoyed today's video. This has been too much fun. Going to the Amazon River, exploring with the natural beauty, and the fact we get to learn all about it too just makes it really, really great. Sadly, the color difference is not modeled in The Sims, sadly. Someday it might come. I'm hoping it happens. Yeah, maybe in 2024, yeah. I hope in 2024 we can see the mix, because that's really one of the coolest things. So here's Manaus, a huge city. Now, I know it's not really modeled very well in the sim, but you can definitely see rivers mixing. You can definitely see the city. It's definitely. Now, there is a scenery for this. There is a scenery for this in Sim Market for this airport. Made by MSFG. They made a scenery for this. But yeah, maybe someday we get a Brazil World Update, because I would actually like to see that happen. But yeah, Brazil World Update would be pretty awesome. Considering we've had a lot of flight simmer stuff from Brazil. Like, I definitely enjoy flying in Brazil quite a bit. Like Rio, Sao Paulo, Brasilia, Salvador. All these places are really nice to fly in out of. The other country besides Brazil I would like to see get an update in the Americas would probably be Mexico. Mexico and Brazil would be the two Latin American areas I want to see get a world update. Because Mexico is super pretty too. Mexico's got. I've been to Mexico. Pretty area. But the reason we're stopping here at the bigger airport today is because for Sunday we're going to be flying down to Brasilia. I wanted a larger airport to get out of. I have a TC Airbus yoke. I have the TCA. I have the Airbus TCA Thrustmaster yoke. and throttle quadrant plus the add-on for it. I have in with Thrustmaster pedals, so I run all Thrustmaster. But I mean, I've had this since MSFS came out. I've had it since 4 years, and it's still working great after 4 years of flying. Here it is, our home airport. Beautiful city. Oh, nice. You play DCS a lot. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it takes special skill and commitment to do DCS. Like, like this is basic compared to DCS. MSFS is very basic. Like, if you want military sim, DCS is your thing. Oh, the X56. Oh, that might be a good choice. Because I don't know about the X56. I just have the basics. 500. Nice. Here we are. Nice. Negative 143. Another good landing. I'll just park right here then. Park right here. And that's it, everyone. That completes leg 20. We're going to wait for the Tiger to make a landing. But yeah, 8 switches. I know. Pretty crazy, the X50. Well, guys, I think that's about to complete leg 20 of our trip. Day 20 has been completed, guys. We now made it to Manaus in the heart of the Amazon. What a great stream, guys. It's been a lot of fun coming here with you guys. It's been an absolute blast. Thank you so much for all the new follows and the raids from both WeFly Daily and Shoney. Guys, it's been a lot of fun, and what a fantastic stream. I hope you guys learned a lot about the Amazon, both the river and the rainforest today. I get to actually nerd out on my biology degree for one. Well, we will be back here on Sunday as we're going to do an airliner flight to Brazil's capital city of Brasilia for day 21 of our trip. Guys, I hope you have a great start to your weekend, and I hope to see you all soon. Take care, everyone, and have a fantastic rest of the day. Goodbye, everyone.